According to the multitude of articles I've read, shortages are going to start spreading even worse in 2022. So now is the time to stock up. I'm going to give you some information that I've come across on the internet, as well as items I feel you should be stocking up on when we come back. Hey everybody, welcome back. So this isn't normally my type of video. I don't normally do news-related videos because I feel no matter what the news is, you should be preparing. But with the news that I'm reading as of recently, it's like I want to let anybody know that's watching my videos that hasn't thought about getting ready to start thinking about it, because the stuff that I'm reading that's coming out from various CEOs and economic advisors and stuff is not looking good. One of the things I'm hearing is there's going to be limits on products soon again. Now, we all went through limits with the paper crisis back in 2020, so you guys know how that is. It's definitely not getting back to normal. And if you look closely on your shelves in your local stores, you'll be able to see that. Even more now in other stores than just grocery. I mean, I went to Home Depot the other day and they were out of products. It's starting to spread and it's starting to get worse. So delays, product shortages, and rising costs are continuing to attack businesses large and small. And I've seen that locally here with restaurants. Small little mom and pop places having trouble getting product. And us as consumers, we're confronted with an experience that's pretty rare in modern times. There's no stock available and no idea when it will come back. The UN is admitting that the world is headed to the worst global food crisis since the 1940s. So definitely, the first thing you should start thinking about is what kind of food you need to store. Factories around the world are limiting operations despite powerful demand for their products because they can't get metal, plastics, and other raw materials to make those products. Construction companies are paying more for paint, lumber, hardware, and waiting weeks and sometimes months to receive what they need. And I've seen that locally because where I live is experiencing another one of its various little mini booms that's like a boom and bust cycle. And they're building like crazy, but the problem is they're taking forever to build. They build pretty quick out here. I mean, a house will go up in maybe 8-9 months. But now we're seeing houses half built for, over the last year. Now, in the UK, the National Health Service recently advised that it's got to delay some of its blood tests because of a shortage of needed gear. One of the articles I read mentioned that a survey by the Confederation of British Industry found that this is the worst shortage of parts in the history of the index, which started in 1977. Now, the first article I want to mention is from the New York Times, and we all know how the New York Times tends to lean, but it was interesting for what it was talking about. And it basically said the world is short on everything, get used to it. And it mentions that the pandemic-related shortages from computer chips to construction materials were supposed to be resolved by now, but they're not, and they're getting worse. And instead of the world getting better, it's got a lesson in the ripple effects of disruption. So we're starting to see now that these shutdown ideas and this shutting down businesses for extended periods of time was maybe not such a good idea, because now we're still having problems with the supply chain for various articles that we need and items that we need. Another thing, and I actually printed this one out, this one here, chronic shortages of a few items will evolve into chronic shortages of hundreds of products later in 2020. Now, of course, I'm not going to read this whole thing to you, but I am going to give you a couple little talking points from it. One of the things they talk about is pet food. They say next time you go to your pet store, don't be surprised to see some empty shelves. Many pet stores are facing a shortage of canned food, and that's why I have this cat food out here, because I have cats. You're going to have a real hard time finding it. What they're doing is they have a shortage of the metal needed to make the cans. So, of course, they're prioritizing human food over animal food. And I guess in a pinch, you could always make some safe human food into cat food. But it is very hard to find, and I've seen that in multiple different stores. The bagged food, with just the dry food, that's a little more available, but still, stuff is starting to get very, very short when it comes to animals, because the demand for that bagged food was set at a certain point, and we've explained just-in-time delivery. At that certain point, that's all you're going to get. They're going to make 200 bags of cat food and ship it out to the store. Well, because you can't get the canned food, people are opting to buy bagged food, and that is going to lead to a shortage. Another interesting part from this was that the larger reason for the chlorine shortage that we've been having is a major chlorine fat manufacturing plant in Louisiana was destroyed by Hurricane Laura in 2020. Now, we're also seeing a lot of food distribution places catching on fire. There have been some conspiracy theories as to why this is happening. I'm not going to lean one way or the other. I have my own thoughts on that. But when you have major distribution centers and major hubs of things that get sent out going up in flames, it's going to affect the supply chain. So that was a real eye-opening article. I think if you guys should check it out. I'm not going to read, of course, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you because you'd be bored to tears. But they say unemployment is dropping and wages are on the rise all across the country. But low-income people are still struggling to put food on the table because of the skyrocketing inflation. High gas prices are hitting people very, very hard. And it's taking a bigger and bigger bite of smaller and smaller paychecks. So, another interesting thing I saw was that the Goya Foods CEO, Bob, I don't know how to say his last name, Unaru, he said that the world has weaponized food. And you're starting to see them using it as a tool in other countries to control people or control what people eat and do. So the takeaway from this is really get what you need before the panic sets in. Right now, like I said, your average Joe and Jill haven't fully noticed what's going on. Some of them might even think, oh, things are better now, when they're actually getting worse. You can pick up extra food in your local store every week. And like I say, always, yes, I sell Thrive. Yes, I sell freeze-dried wholesalers on my channel. If you can't afford that, please just get yourself something. I understand that freeze-dried food, while it has awesome storage life, is more expensive than, say, regular canned food. Go to the store, stock up, keep buying, and keep it in a nice, cool, dry place as best you can. When I started prepping, I was doing it on a limited budget. It was like 10 or 20 bucks a week is all I could afford. And I took the stuff and I put it in a cardboard box in my closet, and before you knew it, I needed storage racks. I had all these cardboard boxes piled up. So it does add up. Don't feel like you're not getting anywhere, and whatever you do, don't compare yourself to other people. I've had that happen with me a lot of times. People will go into my storerooms and they'll be like, wow, I'll never get to this size. Well, you know what? That's what I thought many years ago, and I still look at other people's stuff and go, wow, they have way more than me. Don't compare yourself. Anything you do for yourself to get ahead right now is very, very important, and it will help you out. All right? You can fill your freezers. If you have an extra freezer, you can fill your freezers with proteins, meats, whatever. You don't need to go out and buy freeze-dried food, but the storage end of it is really, really good, and that's the cool part about freeze-dried food. However, for what we're facing with, I think my timeline is probably midsummer, where we're going to start seeing things get really, really bad. You can stockpile way ahead of that right now. Prices are up. I mean, I'm telling you, I look at steaks and stuff like that in the store, and I'm just shocked at how the prices are up. But you can prepare for it, and you don't necessarily need the long-term storage. If you're a brand new prepper, you can prepare for it right now. And I'm telling you right now, I've had cans of soup and chicken and stuff. I don't even know when I bought this. I rotated it out to my pantry. There's not even a date code on it. It's an encoded date code. It's not like a Best Buy thing. So I'm telling you, this stuff lasts a good long time. You guys saw me recently do a video where I put some chicken in with some of the My Patriot Supply food. And that chicken was Best Buy 2018. And it was awesome. There was nothing wrong with it. So don't worry about stockpiling canned food as well. A mix of both works too if you guys are interested. And my links are down below, and I give you discounts on stuff and I give you heads up on sales. So you can always check that out. But the scary thing is we need to be prepared right now, because those who think that the supply chain problems are over with are going to be really shocked. And they're going to react in a very shocked manner. We remember the videos of people fighting over toilet paper. What's it going to be like when they can't get food? Toilet paper? Yeah, there's always a substitute for it. There really isn't a substitute for going to the store and being able to get your groceries. So empty shelves are becoming a regular thing now, and people will be really, really shocked when they can't find things. Now, we mentioned pet food. That's because a lot of it comes in from overseas, and also because there is a can shortage. The metal for the can is in very short supply. Chicken and turkey are also being affected by this. You're finding that the bird flu in other countries, and we just got one in America today, our first case of bird flu. The bird flu in other countries is causing them to cull huge amounts of chickens and turkeys. So get yourself your chicken and turkey way ahead of time, all right? If you're expecting a baby, there's been a shortage of baby formula. Unless you're breastfeeding, it's important to get baby formula, diapers, things like that. Anything that you can foresee. You'll notice I even have oil out here for my vehicle. Do you know how to do an oil change on your vehicle? Do you have oil stocked up? Again, I have a lot of oil stocked up. I have fuels, camp fuels, butane, isobutane, propane, kerosene, everything. I have this stuff stocked up. And again, I've been doing this a long time. You guys may just be starting. You may only be able to get 2 of these and 2 of these before things get tough, but it's better than nothing. And focus on what you have. If you don't have a stove that uses these little isobutane canisters, don't waste your time stocking them up. Maybe get your kerosene or your camp fuel, whatever your stove uses. First aid stuff, definitely important. You see I got a little bit of a representation of first aid out here. Definitely important. Electronics, that's another thing. They're starting to shut down electronics factories because they can't get the components. I have a radio here and a flashlight. You don't have to buy those brands. I'm just showing you as an example. Computer chips. If you've ever, us ham radio operators got hit really hard with this because, like with any hobby, everybody wants the newest, greatest, and latest rig out there. And, a lot of these rigs have been delayed for a very long time because of component shortages. So it's definitely something to think about. Your vehicle. Is your vehicle up to date on its maintenance? Are your tires good? I recently got a set of all 4 tires on my vehicle, and it was, kind of an eye-opener because it was way more expensive. It was equivalent, now I have my Jeep, but it was equivalent of what it cost me to get 4 tires on my Suburban like 8 years ago or 6 years ago when I had a Suburban. So stuff's getting expensive and hard to get, too. I literally got the last 4 tires. And we're talking, I did this in like January. So who knows how long it's going to be before you can't get tires for your specific vehicle. So basically what I'm saying is whatever you do, do something. It may seem impossible, all right? But like they say, how do you eat an elephant? 1 bite at a time. You got to get started, You got to keep plugging away and stocking up on what you can. Even small steps are going to make a huge difference for you and your family when things turn ugly. And again, a lot of the stuff out here is just representation of certain food items. We've seen pasta shortages. We've seen gas prices go through the roof. So these are things you need to think about. I even put coconut oil out here because I like coconut oil, and it's a great lubricant for when you're cooking in a pan or something or adding to food. So little things like this are some of the things I've seen in short supply. Another interesting thing that I found in very short supply in my personal Walmart here is this stuff here. Now, if you guys store gasoline, you definitely need to store this. You'll take like 1 ounce into 5 gallons. That's usually what I do. I do 2 ounces because it's up to the 30 there. So 2 ounces into 5 gallons, and that will store your gas for a good long time. However, if this stuff is hard to come by, your gas shelf life just shortened big time. So just a few ideas, a few things for you to think about. I don't want to alarm people, but maybe some people need a little push. They watch the channel for a little while and they're like, I don't know. They seem a little extreme storing all that food and supplies and stuff. I think what we're coming into, and like I said, I'm not an economist or a predictor by any means, but I do think that by midsummer we're going to start seeing some really hardcore effects of these shortages. And to have this stuff ahead of time, definitely a good way to keep yourself protected. Anyway, folks, I do thank you for watching today. I hope you have an awesome weekend. Don't forget to check out all our affiliate links down below. We have our Amazon affiliate store down there, our freeze-dried wholesaler store. You see my freeze-dried wholesaler stuff there. My link saves you 15% on your entire order. You guys have been ordering like crazy, and he's still providing it like crazy. And I got to give him kudos for that. They got their stuff together after the last panic, and they're ready for pretty much anything. They got their food ready to go. So he's got good stock. The link will save you 15%. Our My Patriot Supply link, that's preparewithiridium.com, preparewithiridium.com. We have some awesome specials on that site right now. And, of course, our Thrive Life link down below. Remember, you don't need to join anything to try out Thrive Life. Anyway, folks, I thank you for watching. Please get your house in order, get some stuff stored. Stay safe and stay prepared.